And then when we got to about 2,000 vines, we said, I can't drink all of this. We've got to open a tasting room.
Welcome back to another week of Midlow Connect. I'm Justin Atterbury with Guild Mortgage.
I'm Audra Fowler with Rose Gold Realty Team. Today, we are here in the heart of Ovilla, Texas, only 20 minutes from Dallas, at an award-winning winery, Cassaro Winery.
So grab a glass of wine and join us as we get to know John.
John Matthews at Cassaro Winery here in Ovilla, Texas. Well, Cassaro Winery and my background is pretty interesting. I've spent the last 40 years in law enforcement, policing in North Texas and around the United States. For the last 30 years, I've also developed federal programs for the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, and been an advisor to the White House for multiple administrations. So kind of a very unique and diverse background. And if that's not enough, for the last 25 years, I've been the law enforcement analyst for CNN and Fox News, and my specialty is mass shootings and school safety. It's funny, for over 2 decades now, I've been in front of the camera working network-wise for Fox News and CNN, and one of the few national analysts that actually do both stations. They don't exactly have the same philosophical opinion, you might say, but law enforcement crime is pretty straightforward, and I've always taken the stance of, listen, I'm going to present the truth, I'm going to tell you how it is, life on the street, and what we need to do to correct it. I've been featured on many stories, from terrorism to school safety to mass shootings. I've had the chance to write and publish 7 different books, and folks know me from the books, from the television shows. I've had an opportunity to do about 40 different network shows, especially on serial killers, which is very interesting because I'm the only award-winning winemaker in the country to actually catch a serial killer. So very, very unique, and from that experience, my law enforcement, my winemaking, we actually built a program here at Cassaro Winery called True Crime and Wine, where we've sold out, I think, 86 consecutive nights, and the audience gets to drink wine, and I talk about serial killers. So very, very interactive, and we go through profiling, and the audience gets involved, and it's their opportunity to ask questions of somebody that's actually caught a serial killer. Working in law enforcement, working around the country, working with serial killers and mass shooters, I needed a diversion, right? Something different from what I do during the day. I wanted to do something else. I've been making wine for decades, but it was more of a hobby, giving it to friends, family, that type thing. We now have over 2,000 varietals: Albarino, Sangiovese, Tempranillo, so Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish varietals. When we got to about 2,000 vines, we said, I can't drink all of this. We've got to open a tasting room, and bought the building here in Ovilla, totally renovated from a Texas farmhouse into a Tuscan farmhouse. And we've got about 3 acres, and we have great events out here. We're really known for our outdoor space, the greenery, the trees, the shrubs, the plants, and of course, dozens and dozens of picnic tables and gazebos where people can come outside, relax, have a glass of wine, Friday and Saturday evenings, listen to live music. So it really worked out for everybody. It gives everyone in the community a place to go, relax, enjoy. We're not a bar, right? It's not rowdy. We're family friendly. Kids come out, they play soccer. Mom and dad listen to music, and so it gave them a great environment, and it gives me an opportunity to walk through the tasting room, to walk outside with the folks during the music or the events, and see people laughing and talking and enjoying themselves. So it was a win-win for everyone. Coming up, we have the solar eclipse event. We already have over 500 folks registered to come out here. We have professors from the University of North Texas coming out. They're bringing telescopes, filters, eclipse glasses, and so we know that's going to be a huge event. But all throughout the year, we do events here at Cassaro. One of the great things that I get to do with wine and the Texas wine industry is I was elected president of the Texas Wine and Grape Growers Association. And so I get the opportunity to represent the almost 900 wineries in the state of Texas, to participate in events all across the state. I've met with the governor, I've met with the commissioner of agriculture, I've met with major sponsors, stores, retailers, and of course our producers, our grape growers in the High Plains, and our wineries in the Hill Country, East Texas, all throughout the state. And I get to spread the message of how the Texas wine industry is absolutely booming. Last year alone, we contributed over $20 billion to the Texas economy. We are number 3 in the nation in number of wineries, and believe it or not, except for California, we are number 2 in the nation in wine tourism. I remember growing up and seeing the huge wine presses in the cellar, and my grandfather telling me about, yeah, we get grapes so we can make a little wine, and he would tell me later they get it by the railroad car load and make wine. And I remember going to great parties all growing up, huge mansions, and the parties would last for days and days, and I thought, well, that's what everybody does. I was having a party at my house, and we had some folks there that were wine drinkers, some movie executives, producers, directors, that type thing, and they knew that I made wine, and so he said, hey, let's have some wine. So I started bringing out bottles that I brought back from Italy, and I try to go as often as I can, and they said, no, not the Italian wine, your wine. I'm like, you don't want that wine. Anyway, they talked me into it. We opened it up, and they're like, this is not only good, this is competition quality. And that really kind of pushed me into, between the number of vines, what we were producing, I thought, all right, let's give it a shot and see what happens. To hone my skills, I also went with my son up to Grayson College and went through the enology and viticulture program. And that was an absolute fantastic program. I think Cassaro Winery stands out among some of the wineries in Texas because we're a boutique winery. And it may frustrate our clients when they come in and say, I love the Montepulciano, and we go, we're out. And they're like, you're out? I've been drinking it for 2 years. Yeah, but we don't rush the wine. We make sure we age it. We make sure we oak it. We make sure it gives the time to really develop and really flourish. And that's really important. And I think that's why we've done so well with the judges. I think it's the little touches. We touch every step, from planting the rootstock in the ground to growing the grapes. We do everything, every step of the way, even to our own bottling, labeling, capsuling. We do it all by hand. And of course, we rebranded our Merlot, which is a gold medal award-winning Merlot. It's now in our True Crime and Wine bottle. So you can come here to a True Crime and Wine event and drink a great murderous Merlot in our True Crime and Wine bottle.
That was one of the most interesting episodes we've aired to date. I was so excited about getting to know more about Cassaro Winery.
Yeah, we definitely got more than we bargained for on this one. This is an individual who is tracking down serial killers, and now he's hosting a True Crime and Wine night. It's like this murder mystery style with wine.
Such a fun night for my girlfriends and I to come out and enjoy ourselves.
If you're looking for a place that's not far from the city or far from stuff, Ovilla, Texas is the place for you.
A lot of people haven't even heard of Ovilla, Texas, but as I've said before, it's only 20 minutes from the Dallas area, very close to Waxahachie, Mansfield, Midlothian, and Arlington.
And as we've mentioned before, we know that in the spring and the summer, that is when the real estate market heats up. What we also know is that interest rates are finally on their way down.
So click that link below. I'd love to chat with you about those opportunities.
We'll see you next week right here on Midlo Connect. I'm Justin Atterbury with Guild Mortgage.
I'm Audra Fowler with Rose Gold Realty Team.
Host a True Crime and Wine. It's kind of like this murder mystery with wine thing.
I love it. It's a fun night for my girlfriends.
Girlfriends.
Okay, let's start over.
Hans and Franz.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's hosting these True Crime and Wine nights.